Last week, NOMOS gave us not one, but two new Club Campus variants, one in olive green and the other in full rose, or a very light pink. But this is a lot bigger than just new colors. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about these in 5 minutes, or at least I'm gonna try really, really hard. So, the first thing you need to know is that we are in a transition period for the NOMOS Club Campus. There are some things that remain the same, so 100 meters of water resistance, a stainless steel case material, generally the same feeling and design code, but NOMOS is rolling out a new movement upgrade from the Alpha caliber to the DUW 4001, and they are changing the case. Ever so slightly, the lugs are shorter. Let's start with the movement. The DUW 4001 is still manual winding, similar decoration, but now with 10 hours of additional power reserve from 43 hours to 53 hours. It's a good update, much more in keeping with modern expectations, and it's great to see them improving their in-house calibers and not resting on their laurels. Now, the lugs, we need to talk about this. So, the Club Campus 36mm previously had a lug-to-lug of 47.5mm, which is now shaved down to 44.3mm. With the 38.5mm, I can't find any changes, so this is just with the smaller reference as far as I can tell. This tells me that NOMOS is listening to enthusiast feedback, and they are bringing that into their design updates. So, now, the more noticeable thing, new colors. I have the full rose in 36mm and the olive in 38.5mm, but they are both available for all existing sizes. So you could get a pink 38.5 and an olive 36. This is one of the things I love about them. A lot of brands would have just done the pink for the smaller size, olive green for the larger. I personally prefer the olive. I think you'll be able to see it in the video, and this is a long-standing problem I have with pink. My skin tone is naturally... I'm pink. So, really soft shades like this kind of accentuate my pinkness. I don't like it. If it was me and my money, I'd be looking into the 36mm olive green all day, every day. The general layout remains the same. California dial, so a combination of Arabic and Roman numerals, and the pop orange running seconds hand in the 6 o'clock subdial. If you're not as familiar with these specs, both have a stainless steel case material, 100 meters of water resistance, and both are powered by the in-house DUW 4001. This has a manual winding system, 53 hours of power reserve, and it is the staple NOMOS manual winder, or moving into being the staple NOMOS manual winder. They seem to be moving away from the Alpha. It is surprisingly well decorated, like more than you would expect for the price, retailing for £1,560 for the larger and £1,420 for the smaller. Looking at the sizes, both are notably thin at 8.1mm and 8.4mm, and this is one of my favorite parts about wearing their watches. When choosing a NOMOS, size is always a big consideration, and they always wear a little bit larger than you'd expect. With the relatively long lugs, thin bezel, I'd usually recommend people size down. So the 36mm feels like a 37.5 almost, and the 38.5mm feels more like a 40. So here is the smaller variation on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. This is my favorite size, and I'd recommend it for the average or smaller size wrist. For reference, here is the 38.5mm on the both of us again. I think the larger model is trying to trick me because I like the color more. My brain is telling me that I like the size more, but I know I don't, so I'm trying to talk myself out of that. There are little color pops that you might miss unless you're looking for them. So with the green variation, there is a light pink minute track running along the outside, the perfect contrast. And with the full rose, there is a light blue, making it feel very pastel. It's really, really pretty. On both models, the outside of the numerals is outlined in yellow, and it makes it feel extra soft. Really like it. I recently, back in September, had the pleasure of visiting their design HQ in Berlin, and it was eye-opening for me. Like, I knew they cared a lot about their design. I just didn't know how much. I didn't understand how much they labored over picking exactly the right colors and how fussy they were about getting it right. I mean, there is no such thing as a perfect watch. Every single watch has something you can pick apart, and these are not exempt from that. I would have to labor on the whole, these are still very, very, very good watches. robust design language into themselves. They're kind of like the go anywhere, do anything watch for people who don't want a boring watch, but still not perfect. Let's do some critiques. The most nitpicks I have is with the pink. So that softer numeral, that outlined in yellow, almost looks Fotina and aged, but against the pink pastel dial, it doesn't make for the most legible of designs. The pink in general just doesn't work for me. I said it before, it's just the exact same shade of pink I am. So, anyways, did I finish on time? That's what she said. Thank you so much for your viewership, and thank you so much to NOMOS for sending me these 2 press pieces. It's been awesome to be hands-on. Thank you. Now to the Pope tier patrons. Oh yeah, get their names on the screen. Hello, Pope tier patrons, you fabulous humans. Hello, all tiers of patrons. Hello, anyone who's just made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel in whatever capacity you can support in. I am blessed with the best community on the internet, and I'm just forever grateful that this gets to be my full-time job. Thank you for making that possible, and we'll see you in the next one.